time came around for us to start writing a new album, when for me the Flash Flood of Colour was still relatively fresh.
I don't think we ever visualise a framework at all when we're writing the music, in terms of what directions we can go, what genres we can penetrate. But I think the only thing we really think about is that each album really does sort of do justice and use every single corner of the musical spectrum that we're sort of confident enough to use.
Well, one of the main things in the studio is just to feel comfortable where you are, and as well with the people around you. It's a very important thing. I think, you know, a lot of bands go in with a new producer, and there's a lot of battling, I guess, that goes on. I've seen various documentaries and stuff with bands clashing with the producer. But for us with Dan, it's never been a case of that. He's an amazing musician. We grew up watching his band and liking his band, so and around the same scene as well. So I mean, we always kind of really respected him, and to be honest, he never got overly pushy at all either, because I think, you know, he could see that we had ideas of our own, and we knew which directions we wanted the songs to go in. So he really just kind of nurtured it. So yeah, I mean, it's very important to have someone you're comfortable with.
It's absolutely in the middle of nowhere, so you can just completely zone out the rest of the world and just focus on what you're doing. It's good to get the fresh country air into your lungs and get your brain firing on all cylinders. It's a place that we were very, very happy to go back to.
I think the only thing I really look for from a record from us is just a progression in the sound. We wouldn't feel comfortable having come out and, you know, feeling that we haven't achieved anything new, or we haven't pushed our own boundaries or anything like that. So really, you know, I want to hear looking forward to hearing what people think. And as well, yeah, we just wanted to push ourselves out of our own comfort zones and create something we thought was exciting.
Lyrically, there's all sorts of stuff on there. There's a track inspired by George Orwell and his thoughts on the ridiculousness of the class system. So he used to say that he was upper, lower, middle class, and obviously he used to say that quite sardonically and sarcastically. There's a song, I mean, for the first time we really delve in and like properly approach the subject of love, how it feels. There's almost quite a sort of kind of almost in a scientific way, just exploring that sort of emotion. There's a song about the lack of scientific basis for race. Is a concept that everyone takes as completely normal, you know, but what better way to approach or destroy racism than sort of by exploring the science behind race and how it doesn't really hold up to scrutiny.
I actually came back to London for a night while they were doing the majority of the whittling down. So I think I managed to miss the big 6-7 hour chat they had, which I was actually quite pleased with, because it didn't seem pleasant. And I know if I was there, it probably would have turned into about a 10-hour thing. But what was cool from that was that, you know, we had different ideas that were obviously stronger throughout each song. So we even ended up like taking parts of songs and by part of another one, and, you know, making a whole new song from it. So that's the good part of having someone like Dan coming in, is, you know, because we've been working so closely with these songs that having someone come in with a fresh point of view and a fresh look on things can kind of go, yeah, well, that, you know, these two bits are the best bits, you know, let's focus on them and see what we can make with that.
I'm already happy with the record, so for me, that's kind of halfway there. And then I think as long as whoever is willing to spend the time listening to it, like, derives some happiness, maybe will sort of embolden them in any way, shape or form, that's success, I think, for us.